Right, this is Romy and Katie with RC Auto Detailing Carpet Cleaning, and we're going to go over how to buff a vehicle. So, we've got our 3 Oaks Garage buffer. It's an orbital buffer, 6-inch pad. We've got compounds, pad 1. It's going to be our red pad. First thing we start with is a little clay bar, because we've got to prep the surface. So this is just a ceramic detailer spray, just a lubricant for the clay bar. Clay bar is going to get the contaminants out. This is just a red clay, so we're going to, we just put this in our hand and we
warm it up.
We got to get her warm. Yep. And we're stretching it out at the same time. Okay. So we're going to get it loose. The warmer it gets, the easier it is to fit. And we've already sprayed, we lubed a little bit. So as I keep touching it, so we work it in. We're going to end up working this a lot because we need to get the contaminants out. So I'm going to get it to where it fits in the palm of my hand.
Okay.
And then we're just going to work it. Like I said, this is already wet. Work it one direction, and we're going to work it the other. So all it's doing is picking up the contaminants and grabbing them in the clay.
Okay.
So now we're going to take it. I'm going to flip it over because we want a clean side. We're going to do it again. Just going to make sure it's pulling all of the contaminants out.
Like what?
So
What's
this
an
could be,
example?
it's like acid rain, could be dirt, could be small bugs, chunks that were left over, maybe a little bit of sap. So you can feel all of them in it. It's kind of weird. So we take that. I'm going to use microfiber. And then, so inevitably parts of clay get stuck in this too. So we just want to make sure we get those out. So now we're going to feel it. So come over, get a shot. So now feel it over to here. See how chunky that is, and then how smooth that is. So these clays just attract a lot of contaminants, dirt, grime. Maybe some of it's just dust that gets caught in there because it's gritty. So we want to make sure there's none of these clay particles left, because we're going to be buffing those in and out. We're just going to do this section. That's kind of sexy when it's all slick, smooth. So this clay bar, we don't want it to hit the ground because then we got to throw it away because it'll pick up the dirt and then it'll just scratch. So we'll make sure we put that back on the side. And let's see, there should be a squirt bottle behind number 1. Yep. Does that say number 1? Yep. So it looks like enough. Looks like I missed a tip. So you want to plug that in. So when you plug it in, you always want to, so you can lay that on the ground, put the top, yep. So any cords we put together, you want to tie the cord ends around each other first. So that way it doesn't slip off. Yep, there you go. Perfect. Oh, there it is, there's the chunky.
Looks like a mayo.
Oh. All right, so normally we'll charge the pad, but since I just chunked this on here, so safety first, arm all the way out, put this around your head, you can put this behind your leg, because you watched the video where the kid got hit, yep. So now this is way too much, and all this is going to do is sling it all over, unless we work it in. So this is charging the pad, so most of it's just absorbing into the pad. That's why we kind of need to put it on first. You always start with the buffer on the vehicle, stop with it on the vehicle so you don't mess up the motor.
Okay.
Start, that's on a low. You don't need to apply pressure, let the buffer do the job. Overlap halfway, just like the clean cartridge, halfway into the previous pad. We're going to go the other direction. Over it until hard to see on white, but the product is perfect. sides while we fold these in quarters. We're going to take the compound off. Compound is just cutting, so there doesn't need to be any pressure because the compound and the pad are what make the product work. So that's what's cutting into it, is the grit inside of the swirl glaze Meguiar's we're using, and then this pad. This is a thicker, it's more of a cutting pad. All right, so now we can take a feel, and then come all the way across where we didn't buff. All right, so that is stage one. What we're gonna look at is if we're doing the scratch removal, it may be that we need to go over it 2 or 3 times with this first cut, because you're gonna think, well, all we did was work that liquid sandpaper in. If we did it and you still see some, we can put more, because that means we used all the product. So we'd put more product on here and cut it again until the scratches start to fade.
Okay.
Because the other 2 steps are more of polishing than cutting.
Okay.
Cutting is cutting into the paint to get the scratches out or blended, and then the other 2 are gonna be like polishing.
Gotcha.
Buffing it out. But for now, kind of training, so we're gonna switch. And I can just put that on the table. We'll go from that pad to number 2. It's gonna be the yellow, still a compound pad. Except for and we move number 2. So I will switch with you. Huh? So you can see on the top here, this says 2. Shake it up. So this one, we're gonna charge the pad. So we're gonna give her ketchup bottle that thing. Yeah. There we go. Come on, buddy. All right. Yep, we should have got a full one. Oh, what's this one? That's leather conditioner. This is going here. That's stage 3, which as the stages go, they get thinner and thinner. Yeah. All right. Take it from the source. So this is 2 as well. All right, and then we're gonna put a little on the surface. So that's what we're gonna be cutting with. And then we're just gonna rub it in. Because otherwise, all this pad's gonna do is absorb all the product. So I'm gonna rub it in here, because the chunkier it is, I'll give you that. Get it slung around your shoulder. I'm also gonna do the same thing on here. I just take my hand. We're gonna rub this product, because whenever there's ridges on here, that's what's gonna make it sling all over the place. So I'd rather take a little bit more time, work it in a little. All right, we're still gonna knock the ridges off of that. So put yep, there you go, exactly. Alright, so see what kind of mess you can make to start with. We got this. Breathe, let the machine do the work. No need to push on it. The pad and the product do the work. All the way down, follow it with the edge. All the way up. We're gonna get up to this corner. Halfway each round, there we go. product on there. So we'll just keep working it till they work that product in. So each stage gets its own microfiber, so that way we're not blending between them. We'll go ahead and quarter it, so we always have a clean side. And so you can set that down, just make sure it's not on the pad. And then, so we'll wipe this off. That is 2 of our 3 stage. So actually, I call it a 4 stage because the first one is clay, cutter cream, polishing. So we use like a, I guess it'll be like an 800 grit, maybe 1500, and then like a 2000 at the very end. That's the polish going over it. So we go over it the first round until it gets smooth. These second 2 are just polishing it, making it into a nice, smooth, shiny surface, just kind of polishing out the edges of it. So we'll go through one more stage, but for sake of time, we will leave the video to do its own thing. So this is Katie and Romy with RC Auto Detail and Carpet Cleaning. I'll put a link to it in this video. All right, thanks.